Okay. Hello, everyone. It's Wanda from Crazy Days. I'm going to be trying to set up for a short live. I don't intend to stay live too long today, but I did want to wish everyone a happy new year and get started with a study that I wanted to talk to everybody about. I'm not going to be teaching anything or doing anything like that, but I did want to encourage every week people to read the Bible. So I did order some of these pamphlets that are read through the Bible. And I'll bring this up again here in a little while. Oh, hey, Miss Lou. And at gmail.com. And, okay, my computer's doing some freaky something in the background. Y'all tell me if something happens. Y'all just jump in there and say, hey, look, something's going wrong. So I'm hoping y'all can hear me. Happy New Year, guys. I'm Miss Beverly. All right, this lists the Bible readings for the year. It's a little pamphlet that goes through the whole year, and it is kind of small, but, you can read it or you can get a magnifying glass, but you can pretty much see it. Most people can. But I have several of these pamphlets that I will send if you want to follow along with me and try to keep up. Now, I'm not going to guarantee I'm going to be on time all year long and be on date. I'm going to try. Miss Tambra, yeah, I'm going to get to you in a minute. You done something you wasn't supposed to. You got me hooked. I said one piece. Y'all look what Miss Tambra done. This is the Collins Street Bakery. Can y'all see that? I said a slice. She sent a whole cake. A whole cake. Y'all, this thing, I was going to go live a couple of days ago, so I sliced it. And then I got busy with the video that went up on Pecan Grove today, and I couldn't stop. I just wanted to get that video finished that day so that I had it behind me. I wanted the year in review to be special, something Danny and I could look back on and see a lot of the progress we made this year in one video. So I shared it with you guys. And look at this, y'all. I'm telling you, part of it's gone in 2 days. 2 days. More of it could have been gone. Isn't that beautiful? Now, I'm going to tell y'all what, out of all the fruit cakes I've tried so far, this has been the let's see, let me get it where it's there. Collins Street Bakery, and it's in Texas, has the best fruit cake. No sound. Does everybody have no sound? Anybody have a sound? Okay, somebody tell me, do y'all have sound? Y'all don't have sound. I don't know. I mean, I'm up. It's supposed to be one of the best. Now, are y'all hearing me? I only have one person that said that they have no sound. So if they have no sound, tell them to refresh and see if that is a problem. Sound is good. Okay, so, okay, because y'all, I was going, okay, am I talking to myself and nobody's hearing me? All right, yes, this is probably the best fruitcake I've eaten so far. All right, yeah, if they have no sound, tell them to click off and click back on. Isn't this beautiful? I mean, they lined everything out now. I mean, it's gorgeous. So Miss Tambra, she sent me a whole cake. And y'all, I'm going to be eating fruitcake for a few days because it really is good. It is that good. And y'all, look at this. I cut a piece out. It's not much cake. It's mainly fruit and nuts, and it's delicious. And I'm talking about really delicious. Yeah, Miss Lou, that's what I'm saying with the video. I didn't get everything we done this year in the video. Because looking back, there's so many things I missed. But, I could freeze it, and I might. But it'll give me something to snack on for a week, and I don't have to cook something. Best of both worlds. Thank you, Miss Tanbrook. But that came in a couple of days ago. This came in. I want y'all to look at this. This is a Yeti. It has the little homestead emblem on it. 4 jars, and they put Deep South Homestead on it. Isn't that amazing? And I love it. The top screws on and off. Instead of it pushing down and you have trouble getting it on and off, and the little button on the top, you mash it and push it up. It's magnetic. Let me see if I can make it work. It comes out. You can take the other part out. Easy clean. That's one thing that I've had trouble with a lot of these, is you can't clean that whole thing without tearing it apart. So this was great. This came from 4 jars. Now, I don't use 4 jars as much as I could because I have a stash of ball jar lids that I've had for 10 years. So I'm still using on my stash, but I use 4 jars on occasion because they did send me some, and I have found that they do just as well as my balls. So I don't have a problem with 4 jars. And this is their Christmas card. The whole family. And then they sent me an assortment of teas. And I shared with Heidi yesterday. And y'all look at this. Let me see if I can get it without dropping it. Some beautiful teas. So I'm going to drink some of these over the next few days and see how they taste. But I also shared with Heidi so she could have some. She loves tea. And then I got Christmas cards. I don't want to drop something out. Sorry, this girl, Sarrie. I'm not saying sorry. I'm saying sorry. Sorry. I don't know how. Sari. Maybe Sari sent me this. She sends me cards and stuff a lot. This one was from, because I missed Christmas, so I'm just playing catch up. Miss Melissa. I have to find the name. Miss Melissa sent that one. Because I went to the post office a couple of 3 or 4 days ago, and I had a whole bunch. Miss Pat sent this one. I love that scene. No, that's, I guess, probably the opening scene of my video with the snow, because I'd forgotten it snowed in 2025. I honestly forgot that till I went all the way back to the beginning of our videos for 25 and saw it had snowed. And so, kind of by accident, that became the beginning of my video. And the song Leaning on the Everlasting Arms, I had that in my stash to use on occasion. I've used it once or twice. And I thought, that just explains the whole year, the song. So a lot of y'all got that, and y'all knew. Let me see who this one's from. O'Donnell's. Cheryl. Miss Cheryl. Okay. I don't know if I'm getting this where y'all can see these or not. I'm trying. Because I can't see me there very well. I don't know. Me and Danny have something done different or what, or I'm sitting at an angle. This one is from one of my favorite sayings, "Oh, come all you faithful." Travis and Angela. And I'm not giving last names and where they're from or anything like that, but "Oh, come all you faithful." That is beautiful. And this has glitter all over it too, y'all. Another one, Kevin, Sarah, and Thomas. Kevin, Sarah, and Thomas. And let's see. I'm going as fast as I can. Let's see. Miss Debbie. Here's another one with glitter on it. Y'all may not can see it, but it has glitter. You know, people still do Christmas cards. I haven't done Christmas cards in 4 or 5 years. It's been a while. I used to do them all the time. And this is Mr. Brian. We Mr. Brian's been with us a long time, y'all. And I think some of my jar lids that I have came from Mr. Brian. To be honest, I think that's where some of them come from. I may have names mixed up, but I think I'm right. Miss Brandy. And Mr. and Mrs. Double A. They've been with us for a while too. The song Leaning on the Everlasting Arms was perfect. You don't hear the old hymns, and we may get into a little of that. All right, this is from Danny's daughter, Jennifer, Troy, and Trey. Y'all saw them in the video. Right toward the end, the three of them together. I didn't get Carrie and Rusty and the two boys. I really, honestly, wasn't even thinking. And right at after they left, I'm like, wait, the boys were fishing and doing stuff, and I didn't get them anything. Miss Millie, can you send me an email at deepsouthhomestead at gmail? No. Yeah, at gmail.com, deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com. And I will send one of the pamphlets out to you. Anybody that wants a pamphlet, and I will show y'all in a few minutes again. All right, now this was one of my favorites, and let me see. Mr. Stanley sent this. Y'all look at this. This is a beautiful card, but it's what's inside that really got me. See if I can hold this up and not lose one. I've got one in my hand. He said there's two, one for me and one for Danny. But this one's still attached, and I want y'all to look at this. Let me get it here. The Master's Key, John 3:16. Isn't that awesome? You can put that on your keychain, or you can make a necklace. You can do whatever you wanted. But look at that, John 3:16. Says it all, doesn't it? So there's so many good people in this world, and people that are doing really good things. I'd never thought of making a key like that, and so I love that idea. Okay, now let me play catch up. Yeah, I don't do cards really anymore because most of the time I usually see the ones that I want to say hello to, and I don't know if this guy makes those keys or not, but the Master's Key is a lovely idea. Okay, let me trying to remember stuff, guys. I'm going to show the pamphlet again. And I'm going to tell y'all what today's reading is. And since we're not going to be here for a few days, I may go through the first 7 days and tell y'all the reading in a few minutes. I also have two of the journals, the UR journals, which has one of those pamphlets in there. I have two left, so today I'm probably going to give these two away. I had two people from the last live that did not send me an email, so I did not have an address to send them to, so I'm sorry about that. But today, it gives you space to write. It's compact. It will have through the Bible in there. It also has sticky notes if you need to stick them somewhere, write something. It is just an amazing little thing to have like this. Keep together. So I'll have two of these to use to keep up with your stuff. Another thing I want to talk about, since I'm doing read through the Bible in a year, I ordered this planner. So I'm going to kind of keep this planner with me handy, and we'll be going through that in a few minutes. But Danny's daughter, Jennifer, I did not know this. She's done this 2 years in a row. This is her third year to do it. If you are on Facebook and you want to join along, she is reading through the Bible, and it's called The Bible Recap. The Bible Recap of 2026. But her site that she's got is called Rooted in the Word. And then it has the Bible Recap 2026. If you're interested in that, you can tell me in an email how to get in touch with you on Facebook so I can tag you because, or have Jennifer tag you because she is, has it where she can get in there. But the Bible recap, the first day is Genesis 1 through 3. And they have a recap video and a summary video on there. And it's pretty amazing. I haven't listened to either one of the two videos yet because I just did my reading last night and some more studying this morning. And I want tonight to listen to the recaps. That way mine is going to be a little bit different from hers. And I may not stay equally with hers, but I will do, hers is reading through the Bible, mine's reading through the Bible. It's just, they're just a touch different the way the two work. But I am going to keep up with hers too because I want to listen to the recap off and on. I may not be day to day with hers. Mine may be a little bit different. But what I wanted to show y'all today, first off, when we read through the Bible in a year, every day you will have a page. Now, this is my journal. You can order this from Amazon. I did not put a link in there, but it is on Amazon. You can find these at Walmart, different places. Maybe not this particular one, but 90% of them have basically the same reading every day when it says read through the Bible in a year. Jennifer's is a touch different, and I'll explain why in a minute. The one I'm doing, today's reading, Genesis 1 and 2, where I told you Jennifer's was Genesis 1, 2, and 3. But mine has Matthew 1 and Psalms 1. So you're reading in 3 different parts of the Bible today in mine. Jennifer's was just Genesis 1, 2, and 3. Mine is Genesis 1, 2, Matthew 1, and Psalms 1. So it's a great idea. And this has a little bitty thing right up here. I'm going to read to you in a minute. And I'm going to tell you what all this is in here and over here. Okay, Miss Nancy got her little journal. What version of the Bible? This does not use any version of the Bible. You use your own Bible. That's what I love about this, is you don't have to use. Now, what I'm fixing to read to you, the main verse, they use the NLT. But it's only one verse, and you can go back to your Bible and read it the way you want. But for the most part, it's just a guide. This is just a guide. I take the Bible itself and read what I want, like I have. And let me show y'all why. Some of you going to want one of these. Look at this. You're going to want one of these because it's an extra large print. It ain't just large. It is extra large. Y'all could about read it from back here. So when I get it up close, I'm going to lose my place. See, when I get it up close, if I can get it there. Y'all should be able to read that. I'm telling you, you can read that from a distance. And the problem is, that one is a New King James. I have one at home that is the King James version. It's a smaller print. I think mine is, it's not the extra large version. It's just it's just smaller version, but it's big enough I can see it. So, Miss Same Name says it, or Mr. Not sure, same name says, the 3 of us read through the Bible 3 times already. Today they start year 4. See, that is awesome. Miss Kathy says, how do I get these? Now, these you will have to order or buy somewhere. This is just simply a guide. Like I said, if you would like this as the guide, and you don't want to buy anything else, I will send this to you free. It just tells you what to read every day, and you read it from your own Bible. You are not sticking with any certain King James, New King James, NLT, even whatever. Doesn't matter. So today, well, actually, I started last night. I read Genesis 1 and 2, Matthew 1, and Psalms 1. I did that before I ever went to bed. Sometimes my quiet time is more at night than in the morning, because when I get up first thing in the morning, I'm groggy, I want coffee, and Danny's fixed breakfast. And I'm getting awake. It is not the time for me to sit down and try to read before I drink coffee. So sometimes when I get through my coffee and we get through a breakfast, then I take my quiet time. Sometimes we have things we need to do early, so my quiet time may come at 10 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the afternoon when we've sat down for a while. Or I prefer late in the evening. I prefer 8, 9 o'clock at night and go to bed with this in my mind, whatever, if that makes sense. But everybody has to do what works for them. Some people like to get up and never get out of bed, pick their Bible up and start reading. And that is really a good practice there. So, let's see. Yeah, Miss Beverly says at night. So today, if you read Genesis 1 and 2, Matthew 1, and Psalms 1, you've caught up with the reading for today. Tomorrow's reading is Genesis 3 and 4. If any of you want to write this down, that you don't have it, but Genesis 3 and 4, Matthew 2, and Psalms 2. That would give you tomorrow's reading. Now, this list is also, you could probably find it if you Google Read Through the Bible in a Year. You Google it, there'll be a list somewhere that you can pick up and follow along. But like I said, now I don't mind sending these. And you can play catch up, or you can start by simply Googling and finding it until this comes. Now, the verse that they chose to highlight. Now, this doesn't mean you're going to highlight this verse. This is just one they chose to highlight. Is Genesis 2:2. All right, so Genesis 2:2, they use the NLT, but I'm going to use the New King James. And the only difference between the New King James and the King James, I have one side by side where it has the New King James here, the Old King James here, so you can put them together. It's in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. No different, it's the same. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. All right, so we're supposed to be doing Genesis 2:2. All right, so I'm going to jump over. So that's what I'm looking at with this. Genesis 2:2 is what they're highlighting. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all the work which he had done. Okay, so most of you know, seventh day God rested. The little write-up they put in here, many women put in 40 hours a week at a full-time job and then come home to care for the house and the family. Don't forget to take time out for yourself. If God rested after working all week, then it's important to take care of yourself. Press the pause button. Rest your mind, body, and emotions. You're worth it. Take a moment and relax. Okay, so that's telling you take time for yourself. I'm going to tell you a little bit different here. Take time for God. That is one. A lot of women take a lot of time for themselves. They make sure they get their nails done, their hair done. They do their makeup every morning. And y'all say, oh, that's work. Nope. You're doing for yourself. If you're doing all this, you're doing for yourself. If you get up and you make sure you're perfectly dressed and your makeup is done and your hair is done, and when you walk out the door, you're this picture of what you think is perfection for you. You're doing that for yourself, or for the people around you, or for the job, or whatever. I mean, let's be honest, you're doing it for yourself. So when they say make time for yourself, they're talking about slow down, chill, relax in your mind. I'm going to say take time for God. That takes it a step further. Even though you're chilling, you don't need to sit around and say, I'm just going to sit here and do nothing for a while, or I'm going to read a book. Not the Bible, just read any book or watch something on YouTube. Most people, when they say they're chilling, they're sitting there with a scrolling, watching YouTube. Guilty? been doing it, I don't know, several years. Danny said something a few years ago. He says, can you put the phone down? Because it was every time you turn around, I've got the phone, I'm checking, see if somebody sent me an email. You know how many times people send me an email? Now, I get more now doing YouTube than I used to, but 90% of the time I get 10, 15 a day. I don't get a lot of emails anymore, and that's perfectly okay with me because I don't have time to read them. Messages. I will check my messages 15 times a day. Y'all know how many times I get a message? Sometimes 3 times a day, 4 times at tops, because I have limited number of friends that send me messages that I need to answer on a regular basis. And I don't have notifications on. I do not have notifications for anything. So if you send me a message, I get it when I decide to look at it. That's the way we roll here. I'm let me walk through the door with barn clothes on. That's me. I come putting on whatever I've got on. I put on a t-shirt and I get something and I'm out the door. And it's not wrong to do your hair and your nails and all this makeup and all that stuff. But you're doing it for you or your appearance. You're not doing it for God. I don't think he cares what we look like. He made me this way. He didn't make me with makeup on and my nails done. Y'all, I get so many complaints, I guess. And it's one reason I quit doing cooking videos, because some people were really nasty and they would say, you need to have your nails done. Okay, y'all, my old hands. But I don't like my nails done. I've never liked my nails done. From the time I was a teenager and everybody was painting their nails, I would try it. I tried putting red fingernail polish on these hands. And every time I looked down, it looked awful. I would put pink or light, like a pearl white or something. I could handle pearl white and I could handle a light pink, a medium pink sometimes. But all the colors that people were doing, I would look at my nails and it just made my hands look weird. And it was distracting to me. And then when I go to do something, even as a teenager and even as a young mom, it was hard for me to continually wash dishes and change diapers and cook and do all the things with perfect nails. And I'm like, I was chipping them. It was peeling off. It was doing things. And I'm like, why put myself through this to try and have pretty nails? When I got ready to go to church on Sunday morning, when I was making up and doing whatever, and I didn't wear a lot of makeup. Y'all, I honestly have never wore some powder and rouge and eyeshadow and mascara. That was it. Light coat. And then I finally just quit doing that. But I would do my nails right before I would leave. And then when I come home, I didn't worry about it anymore. It'd wear off before the next day or so. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, y'all, we're just plain people here. We don't fix up for whatever. I'm not here to please. I'm here just to share and encourage. So read through the Bible. Even if you just pick it up and read 1 chapter a day, you'll get there eventually. You may not make it in a year, but you will get there. 1 chapter a day, take it, read it, and just think about it. You ain't got to make it make sense. You just got to read it. So the other thing I did is I picked up this prayer journal for women. Now this one came from Amazon too, and again, I don't have a link, so y'all, I can't deal with it. I can't do links here the way I did. I don't even know if I've got Amazon fixed on this computer yet where I can pick up links and put in here. Now I can go back after the video and take the links to these and put them in the description. So if you are interested in something and I have time and I try to get this done, after a while I'll try to put links in the description to these things if you want to order them. But you can go start looking around, you'll find things. Now, one reason I like this is it is 52 favorite Bible verses, devotions, prayer requests, and colorful Bible quotations. 52. So that means 1 a week. I have this and my Bible for every day. Then I have this once a week. And the reason I was doing this is I do like to color. Some of y'all said y'all like to color. Danny actually told me he likes to color too. Now let me get it where, let's see, are we there? I did this last night while I was sitting there reading and doodling. And then I turned around. This is the first page. I did this one and this one. That was while I was reading and contemplating. And then this was the last one. So you get a reading. This one is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. So this is my verse for the whole week. This is my number one verse that I'm going to concentrate on all week. Now you can put it on a sticky note and stick it on your mirror where you see it first thing in the morning. You can stick it on your coffee pot. You can stick it on your refrigerator. You can stick it by your favorite chair, wherever. But one of these sticky notes is probably what I will write this on and put it somewhere for the week. And so that you don't end up with sticky notes everywhere, take that one down at the end of the week and go to number 2. But this week, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's the King James Version. Didn't even look to see which version they actually said, but sounds King James to me. It doesn't really say. But that one is King James, just because. You always know when they use the thys and these and thous. And so this one says, before you begin, take a moment to prepare your own heart. Get in a quiet space, clear your mind, pray, and invite God into your time. Slowly read the Bible passage up above several times. Take your time. Then read it quietly again. Read it out loud. And then write it down. So it gives you space in the center to write it down. So that's a way of memorizing. When you read it 3 or 4 times, and then you sit and read it again in your mind, then say it out loud. Once, twice, whatever it takes. And then close your eyes, think about it a minute, and write it down. See how close you got. That is the way to memorize things. Saying it 3+ times, at least 3 times. With me, it takes 4, 5, 6 times sometimes to get it right, but saying it out loud and reading it several times, then you get it. Now it says, note the words and phrases as you speak them. Don't try to analyze them, just notice what the words are. Then it says, ask God to clarify and speak to you clearly about those words. So then you're reflecting again. Okay, this is what it says. Repeat it in your mind, read it over again, and see what God brings into your mind on those words. Because sometimes when we just read, trust in the Lord with all thy heart. Okay, done. Is it really? Did I really trust him? Did I say, so I'm going to sit there and think about it a while. Just how much do I trust God? And like Danny said, you got a spare tire in the car because you think, okay, if I have a flat tire, I need a spare. I'm not going, God, get me where I'm going. These 4 tires I don't have a spare. Let's just go. Sometimes we don't trust God. And that's, in this day and time, ain't nobody riding around without well, there are some people riding around without a spare tire, but not too many. But even little things, when we get up in the morning, God, show me what I should do today. Not too many people do that because they know what they're doing today. They're going to get up, they're going to go to work, or they're going to do this, 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 this. They are so regimented that everything is laid out and they know their routine. Get the kids to school, get to work, do everything you've got to do all day, back to the house. So you don't have to ask God, what am I going to do today? You already know it's in your mind. But sometimes you need to slow down and say, God, who am I going to help today? And put somebody in my path today. Even though your life may be regimented, Ask God to show you somebody that will benefit from you just smiling at them. Somebody that you can just say, hey, did you have a good day today, and listen. You know, you never know. So that is one good thing. But this is also, like I said, this is going to be my coloring. I do like to color. I like that kind of stuff. And Danny said he did. So I may get him involved every now and then. I may say, hey, look, color me a picture. But one thing I do like about this is it has a big, like a whole page. It has the verse, or the verse, and then it has a whole page to color. Let me see what some of the others are. I haven't even looked ahead. So they've got all kinds of ways, and it just makes it fun. It just makes it fun to have something to do. And it takes your mind off YouTube. I know I'm on YouTube, and I know I like for people to watch my videos. That's okay. But it's not my life. As far as I'm going to stay on YouTube and I'm going to pay attention to everybody that's doing everything. I was trying that for a while. Danny and I did try that the first few years to keep up with everybody that we were friends with on YouTube. We tried to watch their videos because we wanted them to watch our videos. It took us hours a day to keep up with everybody that made a video. And finally we started having to back out. It was taking me a couple of 3 hours a day just to film, edit, and upload videos and have everything done. And then another couple of hours watching other people's videos, 2 to 3 hours a day watching theirs. It was too much. And we had to bring it down and quit watching other people's videos. Now we have one or two along the line that, we just watch, and we don't watch all their videos. I will pop into Rain Country's live stream every now and then. But I don't watch all of Heidi's videos. But if she puts up a topic I'm interested in, then I pop in and I watch Heidi's videos. Heidi is a moderator for Deep South Homestead. Now, she used to pop into our live streams all the time, but she has a life just like us. She comes in every now and then. Her and Patrick will pop in. And that's awesome because we love to see them. But she has some good information. And she has a lot of good ideas. And I pick up ideas from her. But can I watch every video she makes? No. And I don't expect her to watch all of mine. If she sees something that I'm doing and she goes, hey, let me see what she's doing, that's awesome. If she pops in here today, that would be great to have Heidi join us. But, do I expect it? No. And that's the way you should be. When you have 500 people you love on YouTube, it is hard to see everybody's video every day, so I understand. That's where we're at now. Danny and I are trying to figure out which way we're going in the new year, how we're going to handle everything from our lives daily and the gardening, his health. We're going to figure out YouTube. It's like we have had to back off and reflect. This past week or two has been a lot of reflecting for us. So that's what I think everybody should do. Yes. Miss B Lady, y'all. I can't believe it. Howdy. I have not talked to Miss B Lady in a while. Now, she came and visited us. Gosh, how long ago has that been, Miss B Lady? Oh, it's been a long time. I can't believe we've been on YouTube this long. Y'all, we only thought we would be doing YouTube 2 or 3 years. And I guess one thing I really want to do, when I was doing the recap video for 25, it made me want to go back and do something that I've been wanting to do since we started YouTube. And that is, if I can. Now, I don't know that I can make this happen because it is a lot of work and it is very time consuming. That 25 video took me 3 days, almost, I'd say 6 to 8 hours a day working on that video, trying to find a video clip out what I needed and put it back into the main video and put it in sequence. I probably got some stuff out of sequence, y'all. Y'all probably saw that the sweet potatoes got harvested before something else done, and then the other sweet potatoes got harvested later. We did harvest sweet potatoes in multiple stages over a couple of months, so, you know, that's okay. But I tried to make sure that when the okra was this tall, I didn't have this tall okra before it, you know, that kind of stuff. But it was a little bit difficult. But I want to do videos like that. I wanted to go back to the old Deep South videos. I wanted to pull some of Danny's old porch times, condense them down somewhat. Now, I know AI can do this, but I don't trust AI. I don't want AI messing with my stuff. If y'all see it over on TikTok and all this stuff, that is not us. That is somebody playing around with our videos. We don't get paid a dime for that. Y'all can report them all day long. But I don't want AI condensing down my stuff. I want to take the videos, go through it, and put maybe something up, a shorter version. And I may do that at some point. I don't know how that would work. Would y'all want some old porch times on the Deep South Homestead occasionally? Not saying it would happen very often. And possibly some of our older videos condensed down and repurposed. I think Heidi at Wet Rain Country's done this before, where she repurposed some of her older videos, because when we first started, everything went into the video, and it made for some really long videos, and we still do some really long videos. Miss B Lady says she's thinking about taking an online course about AI. I don't know, AI does everything. I have got to seeing all kinds of things on Facebook and on YouTube, and all of a sudden everything is AI. If you watch for very long, you think, man, the reoccurring theme is older black ladies, older black men, American Indians, what else did I see? Older white men, older white ladies. And they're sitting there talking, or they're standing talking or something. And you notice them because you're like, YouTube usually doesn't show a lot of older people. They promote all the young people. And that's just how it works. But Facebook and YouTube has all of a sudden, these older people start showing up, and these Native Americans and things like that. And I'm like, looking at it, and they make sense. Y'all, they really make sense. What they're saying sounds good. I have not listened in depth to say, are they 100% saying the truth, or is it truth coded in underlying tones? But so far, what I've seen on Facebook with I can't remember the name of it. I don't know if I could find it right quick. This lady is sitting in a rocker, and everything she's talking about sounds good. I've seen she's talked about okra, pot liquor. Y'all, if y'all know what pot liquor is, I know my older ladies know what pot liquor is. She talks about it being for healing, bone broth. She talks about the different herbs and things like that. YouTube was shutting people down for doing some of the talking that she is doing now. And when you watch, you think, this is a very knowledgeable old lady. And then all of a sudden you realize she sits and moves in the same position over and over, and they cut from her. They show her 1 second doing this, and then they cut. And they go to showing all kinds of other stuff. And then when it comes back, she's sitting back, and it's AI. It's not even a real old lady. A lot of the things are not real old ladies, real men. It doesn't matter. Y'all have to be careful. I've really gotten shocked in the last month at how much AI, even newscasters, I pull up a news thing that I usually thought, I'll listen and see what this is about. It's not even a person. It is AI repeating something that you can pick up. If you go Google it, you can get the print from whatever, NBC, ABC, somebody that's printed out a story. You can get that print, and now you got AI saying it. Same word, same thing, over and over and over again. I've seen some of those videos, yes. So y'all have to be very, very careful. Miss B Lady says she loves pot liquor. Yeah, that's kind of what I did today. We had some greens and I poured it over some fresh cornbread, and that pot liquor, I just poured it on because Danny, he doesn't care if he has the greens or not. He likes the pot liquor on his cornbread. And so if I do peas and beans, he really doesn't care if he eats peas and beans. He wants his pot liquor on his cornbread. So B Lady and Daryl and Sherry and Paul and Brenda were at Deep South along with Mark at the first gathering in 2017. You are so right, Mark. We had a blast that night with all of these people that he's mentioning, and Miss B Lady and her husband left 9-ish maybe because she was tired. They had rode a long ways, and then the rest of them stayed till close to midnight, I would think, Mark, right? And Daryl and Sherry had a blast because we harvested a pineapple that night. We did not know it was going to get cold that night. And Danny decided he didn't want to lose a pineapple. So they were laughing at us because we went outside and harvested pineapple at nearly 10, 11 o'clock at night. It was a fun time. We had a blast. All right, so y'all, I've been on here for a while. I just want to encourage you to read through the Bible. Like I said, pick up. If you're like me, I am not structured. I really ain't, because I was going to do a live 2 days ago. And then that video got in my way, my recap. Yesterday I was going to go live. Tim and Heidi called, do you want to ride to the coast and look at countertops? And Danny and I go, sure. So no live yesterday, and I did find my countertop for the outdoor kitchen, and a lot of people are going, why are you doing an outdoor kitchen when you have the canning kitchen here in this house? This is an old house. This house was built in the 50s. It has been remodeled many, many times, and there are places in the floors that is not the best in the world. So, and tax time coming up. We have to make decisions on what we're doing with the old house. Is it going to become a storage place because we don't know if we can trust the flooring? The walls seem to be pretty sturdy, but we're not sure about flooring. We're not sure if we would need to take it down because of tax purposes. That's always a possibility. They may say, hey, look, it's going to cost you so much in taxes. And we're going, it's not worth it for a storage building, you know. So we have to make all these decisions to see what we're going to do with this house. Right now, it is my canning kitchen. Let me get some water right quick. But in the future, and it might not be this year, but in the future, next year, year after, something could happen to this house. And if it does, I have to have a place where I can store my big pots and do some canning on a gas stove. My inside stove in the camp is it's an electric stove. And so the electric stove does not do canning as well. I do have my Presto electric canner, and I have used it a lot here. I love that thing. So I can do the electric, but yeah, it does keep the inside cool. It does help that. But mainly, Danny and I want an outside kitchen because we like to stay outside. If we're inside all the time, we tend to sit inside. We found that out this year by sitting in the camp a lot. We weren't sitting outside, we were staying inside. And I looked at him one day. We used to sit outside all the time. I mean, all the time. We were always outside. When will you be back on this site, Miss Wanda, or will you? Yes, I will be. I will try to do a live at least once a week. Videos, I'm not sure yet. It's hard for me to make one video, much less a video for all. I used to do it. There was a time I did 3 videos a day. One for Deep South, one for Crazy Days, and one for Danny's All God's Children. I didn't do it every day. All God's Children was like once a week or once every 2 or 3 weeks whenever he felt the need. but I did at least 2 videos a day for 2 or 3 years, 4 years. And it got old trying to make videos every day and do it and get both channels going. Um, yeah, I spend a lot of time inside because of cooking. When I get started, I'm going, okay, I can cook this, 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 and by the time I get through, half a day's gone. Then you got to clean it all up. Next half a day's gone. Um, thank you, way down young. Now I can't get my coffin under. But anyway, with the outdoor kitchen, we really hope to be able to sit outside and do some of our cooking outside, some really easy cooking, because we do like making burgers and things like that. And the stove I have has a griddle on it, so I can just fry up my burgers on that and be done with it. So, and sit outside and eat. Um, yeah, so we will try to do a live here. I will try to bring you updated on, I'm not going to be teaching. Like I said, I will update you on something that has sparked my interest in my reading throughout the week. So if you guys read and even if you're not reading the same thing, we will in the comments talk about something that sparked our interest in the Bible for the week. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. We'll talk about it. May not have any answers. I mean, you may ask in the comments something and the people answer you, and that's what I'm telling you. We need more. But there was one thing on songs. We talked about songs, and I'll end with this. Leaning on the Everlasting Arms, one of the old hymns, and that's what I used at the beginning because it felt like that's what we had to do all year. I mean, we do it every year, but that song just resonated with me when I started picking songs. And I wanted it as the beginning of my video. And then I was listening to something about songs yesterday. Something came up and the guy was talking about songs. And I have felt this way for a long time now, most of this year, maybe even last year. I was listening to songs and I'm like, they would get on my nerves. And I'm one that loves music. I played the piano. I was in our church. I played the piano at the church. I loved being with the choir, doing all kinds of things with the kids. I had a ministry going that sang. So I loved doing plays with songs in them, anything to do with music. But all of a sudden, I was like, music's just not right. There's something. And growing up, I listened to, I guess, soft rock in the 70s. But then when the 80s come along, I did not listen to a lot of music because I had kids. I was constantly having kids and taking care of kids and making sure kids are okay. So I didn't have a radio on. I'm not one that likes to listen to a radio. The only time I listened to radio was in the car. And most of the time it got set to a country station. So I was listening to country music. And so 30 minutes in a car listening to a radio 3 or 4 times a week. That was about it. Then as my kids got older, I was in church more. It was church music. And most of the time it was hymns. We did mostly hymns. We hardly ever did any modern songs whatsoever. Occasionally a modern song might come up and we would do it, but it was not the type of songs a lot of people listen to today. I won't say y'all do. Some people listen to. Now, I got to where I was listening to K-Love, and I loved K-Love this was before I met Danny. K-Love just was very inspiring. I loved the songs. I enjoyed the music. I haven't listened to it as much in the last few years, but when I do listen to it, some songs are very inspiring, some are not. Some of them just rub me the wrong way, like I'm not sure that they're talking about God. They never mention God. They never mention Jesus. It's like a feel-good love song, if you get what I'm saying. And so I was trying to figure out what was going on. The music now in the past year, probably on country stations, mention God, Jesus, amen, all kinds of things related to religion. But start listening to the songs and tell me how many of them are actually, and I get where people are going with the songs. I understand. I'm not putting down any of those songs. They probably are meant to lift up the ones that are listening. But with me, it doesn't. I don't know. It just gives me the wrong impression when I hear it over and over again, because some of the words, even though it might have the word amen or it might have the word Jesus or something, some of the other words are the ones that stick in my brain that have nothing to do with Jesus or God. They just mention that in a statement, one of the statements, but the chorus is what sticks in your head. And the chorus has nothing to do with what you really need to be listening to. All right, so let's see. Miss Kathy says, please remember me and my husband in prayer. Started this year out sick, not how we wanted to start the year. Yes, Danny's got a cold, and he's had it for a couple of weeks now, and it's into his chest. I had a cold before he did, but mine didn't get deep. Mine stayed like right here up, and I still have the cough. But mine's not near like his. And Design, you are so right. I did not know till yesterday that Lucifer was in charge of praise and music before he was cast out of heaven. I did not pick up on that. It did not even cross my mind till this guy that was talking about music said that. And I'm like, wait. And I looked at Danny and he said, yeah, he knew it. Some things get by you, and you don't, until somebody just pinpoints. You might have heard it, but you didn't hear it. Lots of times we hear verses all day long, but we don't really hear them in our heart. We don't listen enough. And that's what this one book is about, is taking a verse and meditating on it, reading it over and over and over again until you memorize it, because it does say to hide God's word in your heart and to make a point there. So I don't know. With music, I've just gotten to where I hardly ever, even when we turn the radio on, I will suddenly just, Danny, change the channel. I can't deal with that. It don't sit right with me. And lots of times I've gotten to where I turn the radio off and we just talk, because we noticed one day, I said I was getting off. I got to make this point. We were going to town one day, and we were just as happy as we could be. We were sitting there talking and carrying on, and there was music playing in the background. And then the music stopped, and the commentators, the DJs, whatever, came on, and they were discussing something, and they made a couple of statements, and we heard that. And from that point, then Danny and I started talking about what they were talking about. And that led us into a depression and a sadness. And we were sitting there, and in a few minutes, Danny looked at me. He said, how did we get off on this? And I said, I don't know. And we thought for a minute, and it was the DJs. They had said something in their commentaries that led us down a road that took us into depression. And he goes, this is crazy. He said, turn that off. The DJs did it. So it is crazy. You have to pay attention, because listening to something, even YouTube, listen to somebody that is taking you down a road that puts you into a deep depression because you keep hearing things over and over and over again. I had to shut off some places I was listening, because listening to them put me in a depression. If it's going to put me in a depression, I ain't listening to it no more. I'm done with the craziness. I want peace and quiet. When I'm doing my dishes, when I'm cooking, I don't have music in my house. A lot of people play music the whole time. They can't stand quiet, or they have their TV going in the background, or they have YouTube. I can't even listen to other YouTubers while I'm cooking and doing stuff. I've tried that. I'll be cooking and I'll go, okay, let me see what they're doing. And I'll get over here and I'll start listening, and I burn something. And I'm like, no, this ain't working for me. So, guys, y'all can put up any prayer requests, and that way everybody will see those. But I want to ask you to pray for Danny because of his conditions and some, and especially the kidney stone that's in the left kidney, and anything that we might have to have done while we're trying to finish up projects and have things so that we don't feel something's undone. And whatever isn't done will be something that doesn't have to be done right now. It can wait. So, that is where I wanted to go today. And I just wanted to encourage each one of you, find some guide or something or just make it up in your own mind. I'm going to read one chapter a day, or I'm going to follow this guide, or I'm going to follow that. If you want to join Jennifer's program and see recaps and the videos, I think that would help too. I mean, you can't do too much. So if you want, you get in touch with me or get in touch with Jennifer, and we'll get you on the Facebook thing. It was called, if you're on Facebook, it's called Rooted in the Word, the Bible Recap of 2026. And it will have Jennifer Johnson. That's who's she's sharing it. It's a private group. You have to ask, and she has to accept you. And if you get to it, say Wanda sent me, and she'll know it's okay to accept you. She has just started it yesterday for the year. All right, guys. Each one of you have a good 2026. Keep up the faith and just stay rooted in the Word. Like Jennifer said, rooted in the Word. It's the only way to get through some of the trying times we might have, whether it's health, finances, world events, whatever comes our way. Prayers for my brother Rick, who lives in Florida. He says the Bible is not of God. Pray that God shows him what is of God. That way he knows what he's looking at. Sometimes you don't want to argue with people, but you want to present things in a way, and you don't want to be pushy. So pray for him and ask God to show you something that you might can send to him, or something that he might be open to. Not sure. Sometimes it's very hard to reach people. I've got a granddaughter that I would love to be able to talk to again and sit down and have some conversations and not sure where she's at right now. So, when you have that kind of situation, you just put them on the prayer list and you keep praying and saying, God, send them where we can do something to help in any way, shape, or form. And eventually, they'll see the light, usually. Most people do. Not saying everybody does, because but everybody has a chance until they don't have a chance, until they die. So I look at it like, just be there. An encouraging word. It doesn't have to be a Bible verse if he doesn't like the Bible, but an encouraging word. And then eventually he may start asking other questions. Just ask God to open a door. That's all you can do. And when that door opens, walk through it on faith. So guys, y'all have a good week, and I will talk to y'all maybe sometime next week. I can't give y'all a definite day or time, but sometime.